It's clear to see that we didn't play up to the Tennessee standard today. It's disappointing, but at the same time, have to look past this loss today and look forward to Florida next week.
When you have one of those games where you don't do those things, I mean, you knew there were good teams going in. How do you put a finger on why? What do you change?
Just come in on Sunday, watch the film, correct your errors, and just try to get better.
Will you learn something about your team from, how they respond today, what happened out there today, and how you go forward?
We'll definitely learn from it. I feel like as a team, we came out here and we weren't as prepared as we thought we were going to be. And it's a matter of coming out and getting better, just getting better and better each day.
Corey, you heard Coach kind of preach all week about how they're getting into space and make big plays. When they finally did it and you saw what they were capable of, how did that strike you? Was it, obviously you were prepared for it, but when you saw them do it, what kind of went through your mind on some of those plays?
Well, it's not shocking. It's not shocking at all. You see the big plays they make on film. You've watched it for the weeks and weeks that you prepare for them. And at the same time, when you come out here and it happens to you in real life, it's kind of like, okay, well, let's snap and clear. Let's come back and line up for another play, and this game's not over with yet. So obviously, there's a lot of corrections we need to make.
I know you're not in the defensive backfield, but is it hard? Do you think for those guys back there to know who you're actually covering in a certain play because they do so many things? It looked like there were just ways that they got open, I guess, and it wasn't indecisiveness necessarily on your guys' part, but they managed to find the open spaces.
Of course, it's going to be difficult. Putting myself in the position of those guys in the back end, Oregon does a lot of tricky things with their receivers and their running backs, and of course, it's going to be a hard situation trying to manage the game for 4 quarters, but obviously there's just a long way we got to go.
Corey, when that starts to snowball like it did in the second quarter there, how do you recover from something like that when it just keeps going? Really end?
You have to get your team together. You have to tell them that they have to keep pushing. You can't back down from anybody. You got to keep going forward no matter what happens in that game.
Were there moments you tried to kind of rally the guys, or anyone tried to rally someone in that second quarter when it was going back?
Of course, we stayed on each other the entire game about not hanging your heads, not getting in trouble with your mental emotions and things like that. So, obviously we have a lot of positive energy going on with this team. We just had to correct our mistakes.
Is that what's different about this team as opposed to the previous years going forward now?
Yes, sir. We have a lot more energy with this team than we've had in previous teams. And I feel like these guys are going to come in tomorrow, they're going to get back to work, and they're going to be excited about the opportunity to play in Gainesville.
Corey, you knew they were going to not take much time between plays when they were going on that run and they were just lining up and snapping the ball. What was that like for you guys out there?
Just got to line up and play. At the end of the day, it's that man against you. It's the receiver against the DB. So when they start moving fast, it's all about getting your energy together, your mental focus, and just going.
Was it as fast as you had to get back in the line of scrimmage that you ever remember, though, I guess? What was that like?
It wasn't as bad as I expected it to be. We could get down and line up. We expected it to be a little bit of a faster pace, but we just got to correct everything, all of our errors, and go forward.
How do you put this in perspective? What for the rest of the season?
It's one game. Let's look past it. Hey, we made our mistakes. We got a long season ahead of us.
Corey, how surprising was this for you? Just not you individually, but for the whole team. How surprising do you think this was?
It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call on our preparation. It's a wake-up call on our mental focus. Everything going into this game, it's a lot we have to correct. So definitely a shock to us, but we got to continue to push.
You've seen it kind of slide in the past. What makes you think this team are there things that you see in this team that make you think this is as bad as it gets right here?
No, sir, not at all. With this team, I see a lot of guys who want to do better than we've done in the past, who want to get to the next level, I guess you could say. This coaching staff has come in and brought in a lot of energy, and they've got these guys wanting to play for one another as brothers, as a family. So I feel like this team is going to do a great job of coming back.
This is going to be the toughest test, I'm guessing, right, to this point? Because everything, y'all have worked really hard in the summer. You won the first couple of games. You're starting to feel pretty good. Is this the first kind of, like you said, wake-up call, big test moment?
Of course it is, but like you said, we've worked so hard over the winter and the summer, and our first test isn't going to be much of a damage to us. We understand that we have to keep pushing forward by any means necessary.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a specific question, but do they do that tight end release stuff? They did that tight end, he did that late release early in the first half, and he just killed y'all a few times. Is that something they had shown before that you'd seen?
We've seen it on film. We've seen it. Shouldn't have come as much of a shock to us as it did. But we got to get in tomorrow and watch the film on it.
Corey, I know you guys watched them, knew what to expect with them. Were they even maybe better than what you thought? You guys thought they'd be?
I don't think they were any better than what we've seen on film. I feel like as a team we We just got to correct our errors. If we correct our mistakes, I feel like it'd have been a lot closer of a game. But give credit to Oregon; they're a talented team. They came in and they played hard, and I give all the respect to them.